Let's get in then the management of CARE and understand the business model as well as the future trajectory a bit better. D.R. Dogra, MD at CARE Ratings, joins in on the show. I also have with us Mr. Rajesh Mokashi, Deputy MD at CARE Ratings, joining in on the show. Gentlemen, hi, good morning, and firstly, many congratulations for a stupendous listing at that. It's a 220 point premium that we've actually seen on CARE. Mr. Dogra, firstly, let me start off with you. What is your growth strategy as far as your overseas markets are concerned?
Let me tell you that after cementing our position in the Indian domestic rating market, we are equipped to go outside because our parents are not international credit rating agencies. So we can go and operate anywhere outside India. What we have done is we have gone to provide some technology support to some rating agency in South America, and now we have started doing ratings on our own in the Republic of Maldives. We have plans to go to other adjoining markets like Mauritius and some other adjoining countries. We have also signed up with the independent credit rating agencies in the independent markets like Brazil, South Africa, Portugal and Malaysia to start an international credit rating agency to do international ratings. So we have plans to go international now.
Mr. Dogra, so how many rating mandates do you expect to close this year, and can you give us an overview of the domestic market rating operations?
For last few years after the bank facility market was open to the credit rating agencies, we have been doing a quite large work. Last year we rated more than 5,000 rating assignments. I think this year also we will grow this number to something like 5,500 to 600 credit rating assignments. And I think India, which is still not even touched anything in the debt market. Our debt market is not even more than 4.8% of the GDP is covered by the debt markets, whereas even China, where everybody runs to a bank like India, the debt market coverage is something like 25% of the GDP. So even if we reach 10% level, I think there's only one way for rating industry in India to go, that's up.
Rajesh, want to get you in as well. Tell us more about your domestic ratings business and where do you see it panning out in the next few quarters?
The rating industry in India has come a long way since 1987 when the first rating agency came in. Today we have something like 6 rating agencies, and CARE in terms of purely domestic rating revenues is the second largest rating agency in India.
Rajesh, so what kind of margins do you see going forward on the EBITDA level?
See, CARE's EBITDA margin has been roughly around 75% last year, and it has been hovering around that number. A marginal decline could have taken place, but otherwise it's more or less at that in and around that number, and it is definitely higher than the competition at this point of time.
Mr. Dogra, you have about 375 crore rupees worth of cash in your books. Do you plan to increase the current dividend payout? And can you tell us more about the dividend policy that you've set out on?
See, in view of that, we are sitting on some large cash which we would like to put in some acquisitions, and company is generating more than 100 crore rupees cash every year. And this kind of business doesn't require big capital. So I think there is a strong case to have a better dividend distribution policy as compared to what we have been adopting for quite some time. Last year we gave 2:2 bonus shares for every share the shareholder owned, and despite that we increased this dividend percentage from 65 to 100%. So virtually we increased dividend on one-to-one basis from 65% to 300%, which gave a dividend payout of around 30%. And as since it's after all board call, and board will have to take a call on this in consultation with the shareholders finally. But I think as a management, I would be happy with a prudent and reasonable dividend distribution policy.
Rajesh, so what kind of inorganic growth opportunities is CARE looking at, given the fact that you have about 375 crore worth of cash on the books?
See, as far as inorganic opportunities are concerned, the first such inorganic acquisition that we have done is that of Calypto Risk Technologies, where we have taken a 75.1% stake in that company. And that is in the risk management space, offering credit and operation risk solutions for the banking and financial institution markets in Southeast Asia and Africa and Middle East. And we are also trying to see whether this company can enhance or expand its business in India itself. And obviously, we will be looking at opportunities in the risk management space, KPO space, and related businesses to grow our business using a part of the kitty.
Right. So Rajesh, what kind of growth do you see coming from your non-ratings business segment, like the IPO grading, risk management, and consulting?
See, apart from the pure rating businesses, which are the bank loan ratings and the bond ratings, we have the alternative rating business, which includes equity research, real estate star ratings, education ratings, RESCO gradings, ESCO gradings. So many multiple products are there, which have a sense of potential going forward. And while as of now their revenues are much lower, which includes IPO gradings also, as of now the ratings, the revenues are much smaller as such, but going forward they will always be important source of alternative revenue streams.
Rajesh, there has been a slowdown in the credit growth market, especially on the corporate side. Do you see this impacting your business?
In fact, India has been sort of witnessing high growth rates in the last 4 or 5 years, since 2008, 7, 8 odd, which has been, growth rates have been generally been higher than GDP growth rate has been higher than around 8%, except in 2009 and last year 2012, when the growth rate was around 6.5. In fact, this year it is 5.25, 5.5 odd. So obviously, when a slowdown of this nature takes place, it has a all-round impact on the economy. And corporates are having some difficulty in this particular year, when some of the corporates are approaching for restructuring and trying to work out alternative mechanisms to wait through this difficult period. And this kind of period definitely has some impact eventually on the offtake, because credit offtake also correspondingly, which is a multiple of the GDP growth rates, slows down correspondingly. But as we come through to a possibility of an end of an interest rate cycle, where the interest rate cycle could change direction, obviously there is hope that things could look better going forward. And the Government of India in its plans again talks about a 8.2% GDP growth rate for the 12th five-year plan. So the planning mechanism and the government policies will try to work back the GDP growth rate towards a better growth rates than currently prevailing, and that should eventually lead to a better credit offtake going forward.
Right. So Mr. Mokashi, tell us more about your overseas operations then.
Yeah, initially we had started providing technical assistance to rating agencies overseas, where our first technical assistance was provided to a Mexican rating agency. Subsequently, as of now, we are providing such an assistance to an Ecuador-based rating agency. We have also, almost a year back, set up operations in Maldives, where we have been recognized as a rating agency to do Rufiya scale ratings for the Maldivian economy. And we are also looking at alternative opportunities for growing our rating business in Mauritius, in Nepal, and also looking at setting up an international scale rating agency in cooperation with countries such as Brazil, Malaysia, South Africa and Portugal. This will be the international forays in the rating space. We have also looking at some kind of consulting and advisory opportunities and risk management solutions opportunities in Nigeria, where we have signed up an MOU with an agency there.